this is Debra Carmona, and usually I start off saying, today we're going to make, but actually I'm starting this video at nighttime. You can probably tell that it's dark. We are going to make characters for a nativity scene, and we're going to start with a dish soap bottle. Now this is a small size. It can work for shepherds or for Mary, and this actually has a pretty good shape right here. These will work. We'll have to modify them a little bit, but this size is even better. The problem with this is it's lightweight and it tips over real easy. When we start putting stuff on it, it gets top heavy, so we have to put some weight on the bottom. But this one is practically perfect. You can get them at the dollar store pretty cheap. We are going to add a head. A head could be a styrofoam ball, or it could be a paper mache ball that you could pick up at a craft store. These are actually plastic. I know because I cut a hole because I want to see what they're made of. I have to know everything, you know. I have to know why. I have to know how. I have to understand things. So I cut a hole in it with a craft knife and found out it's a green plastic egg shape that they covered it with paper. But seeing that inspired me. When I couldn't find enough egg shapes, I took my own eggshells and I blew out the egg from it. You just poke a little hole in the top, poke a little hole in the bottom. I stick a toothpick in and sort of scramble the egg yolk, put a straw on it and blow the contents from the egg into a bowl to make scrambled eggs or whatever, and then I take the eggshell and cover it with paper mache, which is, you can use a mixture of water and flour, and then just these brown paper sacks that I just ripped them into pieces and put them on the eggshell. Or, because I didn't want to use food, I didn't want to use flour, because one time when I made this project years ago, I used flour and water, which does make a nice glue, but the problem is it attracts bugs when you put it in storage. So I didn't want to use flour. So this year, instead, I took my tacky glue, put it in a bowl, added a little bit of water to thin it down, and then I paper mached my eggs. Because I found out at Christmas time, you can't find very many egg shapes. You could find them at Easter time, in the springtime for Easter projects, but it's hard to find. I don't know if it's because of the season and supply chain, or stocks are low, or whatever, or they just don't carry egg shapes at Christmas time. But this is a Christmas time project that I'm using these egg heads for. Egg heads, haha. So these eggs are going to become the heads of our body. I'm using pipe cleaners for the arms. Now one will work for this size bottle. You have plenty of room for the arms. But this bottle is a lot wider, so I twisted two together to have long enough arms. They're sort of kind of folded in half like this and joined. Folded in half and joined. So I have enough, and then I just twist the bottom end to look like a hand. Another material that I used is cereal boxes. The cardboard is thin and it's very functional for what we're going to use. So I'm just going to break down these boxes so that I can use them. I'm finding all kinds of uses for cereal boxes, so we don't throw cereal boxes away. We save them because they can be useful, having that cardboard. I use them for doing sometimes projects with Dollhouse. I use them for making scrapbooks or journal books, and any kind of project where I need a little bit of cardboard, a thin cardboard. So we've got boxes available, and that's going to help to make the arms. I also used a wooden dowel, and I used that to roll the cereal box cardboard around the stick to create these sleeves. Other tools you need: a good pair of all-purpose handy-dandy scissors, a craft knife, I have a craft knife set, fabric scissors, and be very careful. What we're going to be doing is very, very sticky, but we're going to be cutting fabric, so you want to do all your cutting first when everything is clean and dry. And because we're doing something sticky, it's a good idea to take some wax paper or parchment paper, or you can use freezer paper, and put a layer down on your surface where you're going to be working, so you don't have to worry about getting a sticky mess all over the place. You might need needles and thread, and masking tape is always useful. Okay, the sticky mess is going to be created by my solution of starch. It's made with cornstarch and water, and I will share the recipe with you about that later. Plus, we need lots of fabric. Fabrics to cover our little people for whatever colors you want. Now you've got two choices. You can pick colors that you want for them, or it doesn't matter what color choices. Once you have it all draped, and once it's dried in this solution, it's going to hold the shape that you create. You let it dry for a day or two, and then you could spray paint the whole thing gold, and that can look pretty. And I'll show you what that looks like, because that's what we're doing at our church. I got together with a bunch of ladies from the church, and they had so much fun making these. And I tried to get the bottles ready like this so that they've got it looks like a body form. And I gave them a pile of fabric, and they created different characters. And we made 5 sets of a complete nativity scene. And me and some other ladies got together and created some animals. I created the patterns and showed them how to make them, and they helped me to get them done. And so we created 5 different nativity sets using these materials. Now, most of these materials are recycled, and they're free. They're otherwise junk. So we're taking junk and turning it into treasure. I love doing that. That's just one of my fun things to do. It's, plastic. We don't need to be throwing away plastic. If we could find another use for plastic, that's a good thing. So we're recycling it and making it into something useful and beautiful that we can, set up a little personalized nativity scene at Christmas time. All right, let's get into it. All right, I have my craft knife ready, and I have put a very small blade on it. I'm going to use this to puncture holes in our bottle. This is going to be our neck, and this is going to be our shoulders. So right off the shoulders, this is where we need to have our arms come out. So what I'm going to do is, with my knife, I'm going to push this in. I'm going to sort of cut a little triangle. So I've got a small hole that I can stick a pipe cleaner in, and I go to the opposite side and puncture a hole. And then we take our pipe cleaner and we stick it in one side and out the other. Sometimes getting it out the other side is tricky. No, that was actually went pretty easy. So we have our pipe cleaner that runs all the way through the bottle. The pipe cleaner is going to form the arms. And these arms are pretty long. I'm going to just bring it up here and twist it to sort of create a hand. an elbow would be right about there. And yeah, that would be easier for her to hold a baby. Now the hand should come down to about what would be the hip. Small bottle, and she's kind of tipsy. So we're going to take some of cereal box, and we're just going to wrap it around the bottom here to give a little more weight around the bottom of her. And now she's not so tippy. Plus, having the cardboard pressed all the way down to the table gives it a flatter surface because the bottoms of the bottle are rounded. So having a cardboard that comes straight down, she's less likely to fall over. I mean, it still can, but not as likely. You can hot glue this cardboard in place too. If it's taped tight enough so that it's very tight around this area, it'll stay good. Now, we need to do something with the arms to give a little more shape to the arms. I want this to be a Mary, so I want her to be able to hold her baby like right here. Okay, so I'm thinking about that. The baby's rests in the crook of her elbow and her other hand is on top of it. So I'm thinking about the position of the arms. And I'm going to measure 5 centimeters or just under 2 inches. Cut a 2-inch, or roughly 2-inch piece of cereal box, and that is going to be the length of this arm. I may trim it a little bit, but to create the arm, we use our wooden dowel. Roll the cardboard on the wooden dowel, so that we make a complete circle here. I have more than enough, so I'll cut off the extra. And then I like to tape the top and the bottom to make sure it holds. Tape goes all the way around, and then we slide this off, and this is going to create our sleeve. Now, when we put it on, I'm going to cut it at an angle so that I can fit it there. See, we don't want to just stick it on like that because her arms don't go out straight. And I also want to angle it so it can come forward. So not just sideways, but kind of lean it forward because I want that arm to come forward so she can hold a baby in her arm. There. Now I'm just going to check the elbow. Do I have enough room? Now, typically when you have an elbow, you also need to have it shorter on the inside so this lower arm can bend. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that. We have a good strong angle for the shoulder part and a shorter, less of an angle for the bend in the elbow. And that is about 1.5 inches. Maybe 1.25 inches. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it 1 3/4 because I know I'm going to cut an angle. It's okay to make it bigger because you can always cut it. Figure out the lower arm. The upper arm is going to be up here. I probably want to cut an angle where the two joints meet so we can create a sleeve. Hand is too long, so we make it shorter. I think I want to cut out right here just a little bit more, sort of a little space right there. Okay. All right, I am liking this. I think I want to tape that together so it'll hold it. So it'll be the right position that I want. Her hand is sticking out, and this way I can cover that with fabric and it will look like a sleeve. So I'm going to go ahead and tape that together. Tape is just a temporary hold. It's not anything permanent. It holds it together while we're getting ready to do something else with it. Before I tape it anymore, I'm going to check that, make sure it's exactly where I want it. Yeah, it's a little harder to do. Come on, hand. Get out there. Okay, where's the hand? I think the wire is sort of stuck up in there. I need to get my needle nose pliers. Needle nose pliers is another excellent crafting tool to have. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm very happy with that. Now I just need to hot glue it right there. This arm will hold its shape exactly where I want it so she can hold her baby. because I've already decided this is going to be Mary. Now I just have to make the form for this arm. I made this, and it's about the length of the arm, and I decided, what would happen if I cut out a little piece? Could I make that work? Would that work just as well? Oh yeah, I gotta angle the top. This is longer, so I'll angle this side. Get a good angle on the top part. All right, let's put this in here. And let's see if we can't bend this. Oh yeah, I think I just discovered something. So we have one piece and we just bend it. And I want that arm also to come forward. Okay, that's good, except the sleeve's a little short. May have to add a piece onto it. Okay, not bad, not bad. The sleeve was too short, so I rolled up a piece, but I didn't tape it. I decided just to stick it inside, and this way I can adjust it, and then when I get it on the arm, I will tape it together. Because the fabric will probably be draped from here to here. I'm not worried about that little shape there. I can work with that. I use hot glue to attach the sleeves. Use low temperature setting or the hot glue will melt the plastic and reshape your shoulder. I glued the elbow bend and the additional adjustment that I had added. It had slipped inside, so I used the needle nose pliers to pull it out for the length that I needed. Then I glue on the egg shape for the head, applying the glue to the top of our bottle opener. The procedure is the same for all of the characters, although you may want to position the arms differently depending on the character. Wise men will perhaps carry a gift. Decide how they're going to carry it. Are they going to carry it hanging from, the straight arm, or are they going to be holding it out, such as a chest of gold is what I did with one of the wise men. But the other wise men, their hands are down, hanging their gift. A shepherd might hold a staff. Some arms can just hang down, well, not totally straight, because people don't always keep their arms straight. It's usually a good idea to have a slight bend in the elbow to look natural. You could decide for each character. Now that our body forms are ready to be dressed, in my next video, we will choose our fabrics, cut out the patterns, and do some minimal sewing to prepare the fabrics for draping on the body forms. The content for this project was too much to be included in one single video, so I decided to make a series of short videos to share the specific details on how to do this project. It would be an excellent family project. You will find all the videos on my playlist for Christmas activities. Look for future uploads to see the rest of the project. I'll be posting one video a week. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you will receive the notices when I post the videos. Thanks for watching.